Hello, Taurus. Thank you for watching. I'm starting a new thing. I'm doing love readings every other week and then general readings every other week. So this week's love, next week's general. Love, general. I'm going to try to post something every Friday. The love ones, I'm going to do the first half relationship and the second half if you're single. Just that way we can touch on everybody. Everybody gets what they're looking for. For the tarot portion, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. Yep. And for the support cards, I am using the Romance Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. What I've found so far is that sometimes they come out, sometimes they don't. I'm not forcing the Angel Oracle cards to come out unless it's warranted. But we'll see. Okay, so I'm not going to prejudge this because this is interesting. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay. Taurus relationships. Okay. Overall on that side or all of them? Over the whole thing. Okay. Alright, so very giving. So where are we starting here? Because overall, the love is there, communication is there. I feel like it's a pretty good match. The other side might be a little bit more communicative. Communicative? I swear, I just make up words and whatever. Anyway, so this is where you're standing. You're the Two of Cups. Very happy, very on point, very happy with your partner. This is them, Ace of Swords, communicating. Now, there's something they want to change? Okay, there's something they want to change. But I feel like it's not within your grasp to do so. So this is kind of, but you're trying to be as accommodating as possible. Although I'm feeling like at first blush, you're just like, I can't do that. So you try to give a little, like, you're trying to give a little in the situation, though. Because of how much you care about the other person, you're trying to give a little. So, but I do feel like you're kind of constrained, and I'm not really sure. It depends on, it's a general read, so for you it could be either you can't or you're not really into what they want to do. So it's going to depend on you. So it's either you can't, if you can, you don't really want to. Okay. But you are giving a little. You'll give a little. You're like, I feel like you're giving just a little in this situation, trying to like appease them a little bit. I feel like you're kind of like doing a little like, well, here, let's start just a little bit on that front and just see how it goes. But just give it a little try, a little taste, just to see how it lands. I feel like it's just, however you're giving in this situation, they don't feel like it's enough, and they don't feel like you're really going to give it a shot. So this is kind of what's holding it back. This is what hinders you and the other person. Like you either you feel like you can't or you don't really want to, but you're trying to give where you can. You're trying to give in a little bit, but it's not really appeasing your partner. They don't feel like it's enough. So this is kind of holding things back. What kind of moves it forward and moves it into a better light for you, I do feel like it takes a minute. Like, this is a normal Taurus thing, and I personally feel it's a good Taurus quality. Although I'm Pisces, I'm very conducive with Taurus. They need a moment to think about it, and I feel like that's kind of where you are. You need a moment to think about it. You're like, well, all right, let me mull it over. Give me a little bit to just think it over, and I feel like you will. And as you start like balancing it out, and you're like, you know what, maybe I can give this a shot. Because I feel like when you're here, you truly feel like you can't, or you really feel like you don't want to. One of the two. That's at first blush, and I feel like that's what holds you back. But as you think it over, you're just like, you know what, maybe it's not that bad. Or you're like, maybe there are possibilities here that I wasn't seeing before, so let me give it a shot. Let me see how I can work this out. Let me see how I can make this kind of happen. I do feel like you try. this, when you do this, even just the considering, because I feel like after you like think about a couple options, you start talking to your partner about a couple options, the star card goes on their side, which means you give them hope. I feel like it makes them feel really good that you're really like considering it, because they feel like this is an honest effort, and it is. Like you're really like, all right, let me mull over. How can we possibly make this happen, or like get it going in that direction? I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but maybe there's a possibility here. Like I feel like you're mulling it over, and they feel. I kind of feel like the over the moon feeling here, even though it's the star card. I feel like you give them a lot of hope. They feel like there's possibilities. It makes them feel very good. Let's put it that way. And it puts things in alignment. When you're able to give it a shot, like I feel like you're just by mulling it over and like going through a couple options, like talking it out, just that section alone makes them feel a lot better, puts things in alignment with you and them much better. Because I feel like there's some things here that are kind of off kilter. While you're feeling like you don't want to or you can't, when you're in that state, I feel like it causes a lot of friction. It keeps things off balance a little bit. It's kind of messing with things a bit. It's kind of rocking the boat a bit, and I don't feel like you like that. Okay, so that being said, you're kind of stuck, and you're kind of feeling like they need to be heard, and you have to try some options. I am feeling like you really, even though your first blush is like no, but you see how much it means to them, and you're mulling it out. You're trying to like think of ways to make it happen. I kind of feel like you're like I kind of have to do this, and you're kind of like all right, I'll do this because it means this to them, but I don't know about this, and like the Hanged Man, you're just kind of hanging there, and you can talk and communicate and see. But I feel like you're kind of leaving it up to them. Like it's almost like you're giving them permission to go forward on something, and you're willing to be a supportive effort in this. But it's almost like you're handing over the power a little bit, and that might be a little bit of the uncomfortable part of it because you prefer to create the stability yourself. Like you like to plan things out a certain way, and they don't do things the way you do them. I'm thinking if this reading's hitting for you, your partner really doesn't do things the way you do them. It's not like it's bad. It's just like not the most comfortable situation in your opinion. But it works out. It's just not the most comfortable trip to the destination. Okay. But I do feel like, ironically enough, I do feel like they're trying to honor your sense of order. And they're trying to, you notice it's the Page of Pentacles, which makes me feel it's not totally the way you do it, but they're trying to appease you, like they're thankful, like they're trying to show their thankfulness, but they're trying to put some order into it. They're trying to do their best. I feel like you're aware of this. I do. I also feel like you're like, well, I put a lot more order into this, but I feel like you're catching on that like they're doing what they can to like appease you and try to put a little more order into it, and you're like, I feel like you're okay with that. And especially as it goes forward, like we have two things coming in. This, like the goal of the situation is like, I feel like they're feeling a lot stronger. I feel like you're giving them some strength by doing this, by handing over this power somehow, letting them go forward with whatever they want to do. And it's a healthy thing for them. It strengthens them. Like literally, you got the strength card for them. But I feel like you're very happy with how this is working out, and you're just like, I feel like you're happy because they did appease you a bit, but I do feel like one of the reasons it worked out so well is because they took your advice with the order and doing it in certain steps and certain. Like, I feel like they listened to you, and like this cooperative effort worked out very well. Okay. So there's one more piece here because you're being very. I feel like you're being very giving, but you're allowing them to give to you. It's very interesting because I feel like there's that very giving, like you're giving them permission to take over, which they're being very giving to you with the result. So it's almost like you're giving permission to give to you. I hope this makes sense. Like you're giving them the go ahead, and they're very giving to you in return. Like, how does that saying go? You're helping them help you. It just works out like you're giving, like you're allowing them to give you stuff, like in some sense. It's very giving to you. I feel like the giving is towards you, but you're allowing it. Yes. I don't know. There's like a permission thing here. There's a certain step, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. It seems to make sense in my mind. Hopefully it makes sense to a Taurus, because I know there was another reading I did for Taurus and things got jumbled and it just didn't seem to really work out. So I apologize for that. Hopefully this one makes more sense. Like, you're giving them permission to give to you. I don't know how else to say that. I'm going to let it go. Now this is good, because spiritually, I feel like they feel like it's very like, I feel like this is a very cementing, very close, I feel like it's very heartwarming for them. It feels really good for them. And it's it's making them feel like there's more memories, there's more, what do I want to say? There's more of a soul connection coming in, it's very, I know this is like the card of memories, but I feel like there's something else it wants to say. Like, they feel, it makes them feel closer to you. Like, this is strengthening that bond. Like, this is adding to this, like, if it was like a photo album, it's adding to the photo album of memories and value of the relationship. Like, I feel like that's where it is spiritually, if that makes sense. It's very much adding value for them. And the Chariot on your side, what does this Chariot mean? Balance. Balance? Balance of control and submission. Okay. So it's very much the yin-yang effect. The give to take, the take to give. For giving someone else permission so they can give back to you. I feel like this is more of a yin-yang feeling. I mean, we do have the white and black courses. We do have that kind of the Pisces symbol on the belt. Like, I don't know if you can see the belt buckle there. It's kind of like a Pisces symbol, but it's also kind of like a yin-yang feel to me. The give and the take, the half and half. I'm getting very much the 3 phases of the moon going on here. The youth, the parent, the grandparent, which is not, like, I wouldn't denote that in a certain gender, like, whatever it connects with you. Like, I feel like this is the accumulation and the balance of all. Like, I feel like this is getting confusing again, to be honest with you. Where are we going with this? So, like, this is moving your relationship up. I don't feel like this is denoting, like, you going into something. I just feel like this is, like, enhancing your relationship. And I feel like this is kind of like a level up card for you. Usually a Chariot is charging out into something, going after something, but it's in the spiritual sense. So I feel like it's a spiritual moving into the next level. Like, you're giving in some of that power to the other person. You're showing some faith in them. You're, like, showing more faith in them, possibly, depending how your relationship already is. Like, you're showing that you trust them. And not just that you trust them on a emotional level, but you trust them on a level to where they can handle getting things taken care of. That you can leave tasks to them, and you trust that they'll do them, and things will be okay. Okay. I hope that didn't come across confusing, because I'm very well aware that one of my readings, I think it was one of the last ones I did for Taurus, it went through confusing. So I hope this one made more sense. I'm sure you'll let me know. And thank you very much for putting the comments. I do appreciate them. Sometimes I don't get a chance to respond to them, but I do read them, and I take them to heart. And I'm like, okay. So I got a little out of control on that one with Taurus. And I know Taurus is very much 1, 2, 3. So one of them was all over the place. I felt like it denoted something in your life that was going on at the time. So I let it be. So that's that. Anything else here with the relationship read? I think we're good. All right. So this is, I think the overall thing is, once you consider and give it a chance, things go to the next level. This is very good for your relationship. Very good. All right. Now, Taurus, single Taurans. Where are we going with the single Taurans? Single Tauran. Okay. So, What is going on around here? I gotta be careful to... Ironically, I am going to use some Romance Angel cards. It seems like that's how it's been for these reads. It's either the single or the relationship, but not both. I use the Oracle cards for. I don't know why that is. It does seem like most of the time it's the single side that needs more. Okay. Alright, so with the single Taurans, what is going on here? Now, the base of this situation, if this is hitting for you, even though you're single right now, I feel like you've put yourself out there. And this is like, you've been looking for love. I don't feel like this is a new situation in the sense of like, you might have been out there dating, you might be out there dating for a while, and you've been putting out feelers, trying to find a partner. So you've been out there trying, and you've been wanting to get a relationship going. Yet, at some point, you kind of backed off because you weren't finding what you were looking for, or you found a couple people that you were just like, I don't want to get involved with that. So you kind of stepped back for a while. Okay, so that's like this Two of Swords retreat card going on here. So I feel like you did step back. There's a worry here. There's an overall worry because I'm almost feeling like there's somebody else already around the situation. Especially with what we're going towards here. So let's start with where you're standing. You're standing with the Magician. This is where you stand. And I feel like you're trying to build something in. You're trying to make things happen. You're taking the active role here to find what you want. You're making the initiative. You're making the effort. A great thing. Your thoughts, which is not odd for a Taurus at all, especially earth signs. I always think earth signs are very patient, very take your time, typically the ones I know. So you got Temperance here, taking your time to build this great home life, this great loving relationship. You want a slow build to build something that's going to last. That's where your thoughts are. And you're standing at a point where you're trying to find someone that's going to match that ideology. Okay. Now, what is going on around you makes me wonder. Because I feel like there's someone who's coming towards you. There, you got in the environment, you got new love, and you got the Justice card. I feel like this person wants to move faster than you do, though. That's my first thought, because I think that might be the roadblock we're coming up against here. Because I do feel like there's a kind of a roadblock, and the reason I'm saying this is like you are pulling towards you what you want. I feel like they want to move faster than you do. And I'm like leaving out certain pieces for a reason. Well, I think we're going to go ahead of ourselves. Let's start where this is you. The Wheel of Fortune turning your way. The Magician. This is where you're standing. You're going out there looking for it. You're actively trying to find it. The wheel is going your direction. You're finding what you want. That's what the wheel is denoting. You're finding what you want. The World. You're over the moon about it. And you're thinking this can be a great start. I feel like you're still into the slow, steady progression. Which is great. That's a Taurus thing. I can understand that. I'm good. I'm great with it. Stereotypical Taurus, mind you. Just the Taurus energy on its own. Because there's definitely many different types of Taurans out there. Now, this is where it gets a little bumpy. I feel like the other person, the Page of Rods, other person they want to move faster. I'm getting that feeling that they want to move faster. And they're telling you that they want this to go a lot faster. Like, let's just get going. Let's just, let's do this. Let's do that. I almost feel like some of them might be pushing you to move in quickly, and you're just like, what? You're just like, we barely know each other. What do you mean move in together? What are you, crazy? Like, I feel like that's how it's coming across. Something of that level. It might not be flat out that, but something of that level where you're just like, that's way too fast. Like, almost like they're inviting you to go to, like, their sister's wedding or something like that, or a relative, like a family affair or something like that, and you're just like, whoa, way too fast, way too soon. And they're really trying to push you to do this. And I feel like this might be a bump, because like I feel like you deny this request, and it has you worried that this might be the end. Like you feel like that might be the end of it. I'm not convinced that it is, though. It's like it starts off really great, and then they push they want to go too fast, too quickly, and you're just like, no. And I feel like you might have like a knee-jerk, like kind of like offended or shocked reaction, like, no, I can't do that. What are you, crazy? Like, I feel like it might come off flat out like that. Like, oh my God, are you nuts? Like, have you lost your mind? And you might feel like the situation has, like, fell flat right there. Just done, dead, finished. Now, this is the overall energy, but I don't feel like this is the end of this story. What I do feel is, like, the last piece I want to talk here, your outcome. The reconciliation card is here, but there's a difficulty in reconciling. Because I feel like you're both looking different directions, and there's not much communication going on here. The King and Knight of Swords are communication cards, true. But I feel like you're both caught up in your own thoughts. And I feel like when you have the Four of Pentacles between you, you're keeping your thoughts to yourself. I do feel like there needs to be some... If you want the reconciliation, you got to work through the holding back. One of you has to break. That's not even fair. I don't even want to say that. Both of you are going to have to give a bit and talk through what's going on and why you feel the way you feel. I feel like this is a great start, and this is worth talking through. There's already hurt feelings. If you're both willing to talk, this could go to this could keep going. And I feel like if it's explained a little better and why you want it to be a slow start and why you want to build, I feel like you can make your point. I also feel like this conversation can be a great thing to decide whether this person is the right one for you or not. Because it's a great start. And if they're okay with the slow, steady build, this could be a great relationship. If they're not, it was just a matter of time anyway, because I feel like this is who you are. And if they can't do that now, it was just a matter of time before it would have fell apart anyway. And it might as well end on a good note rather than a bad note if that's the case. I feel like a lot of you, though, are finding a really good match here. And just like once it's ironed out a little bit, even though they're extremely excited, and so aren't you, but it's just like you got to get to know each other a little better. Once they realize you're a slow, steady start, but you're very dependable and you're very much cemented in somebody's life when you do get there, I feel like I think it's a worthwhile conversation. So this can go farther, but you both have to be willing to talk. It can't be just one of you. It's not just, like, one of you might have the initiative to start the conversation, but both of you have to be engaged in the conversation if it's really going to have any type of chance. Sometimes one starts talking and the other follows. I don't feel like that's the case. You both have to be in the mindset where you want to talk. Okay. And if you're getting a lot of reluctance and pushback from the other side where they don't really want to talk, it might not be that great of it might be just like a move-on situation. Keep in mind, this is a general read, so you have to take it as it comes for you. All right, I think we kind of finished with that. There's a gas truck outside. Sorry, it's kind of getting my attention. Anything else going on here? I don't see anything else. Okay. All right, so it's a new thing I'm trying. Let me know below if it helped or didn't help. Granted, it's a general read, so it's not for everybody. Hopefully this one at least made more sense. I've been very mindful because I don't like to have things all over the place, especially for Taurans, because I know a lot of times it's very much, 1, 2, 3. I think I got all the mixed reviews, to be honest, on that video. Like, not everybody was like, what's going on? Some people were just like, what are you talking about? Because it went all over the place. So I'm trying to make sure I keep these concise and respect the Tauran point of view on that. Of course, let me know. If you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.